YouTube hates it when I use the F word, and I haven't even used the C word yet. I've been really nice. All right, today we're going to talk about Dominance Technique numero dos, number 2. Dominance Technique number 2 is a trick. A little tricky trick. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we like to wear the pants in our relationships so that we don't get divorced, so that we don't get broken up with and we don't know what's going on. So the way we wear the pants and the way we learn to wear the pants and the way we do establish that we wear the pants and have dominance in a relationship is we understand dominance techniques. And when a woman tries to do that on us, what do? When a woman tries a dominance technique on us, we are aware of it, we know it first, and then we combat it. We do something to join this dominant struggle willingly. We're eager to join. The little argument that we're going to have with the girl, we do not try to maintain our peace. We are eager to jump in the dominant struggle because that leads to long-term peace. Also, there's only so many dominance techniques that a woman has. She might know 1 or 2 or 3 good ones that she's practiced, and the older she gets, the more she adds other ones, right? But there's only a certain number that she'll use. If there's 20 and you beat the 20, she's only going to try maybe a couple other ones that she hasn't tried before. And then once you beat that group of 20 things, you are the dominant force in your relationship, right? There's a finite amount that she knows. And after that, she's off the rails. She loses, she becomes submissive. And you, my friend, become the winner. That's why you subscribe to this channel, because you can win the fights with your wife or your significant other or the girl you just met at the bar. So dominance technique number 2 is a trick. And when we're going to use this trick is when the girl has a really valid point in the argument that we're in. So valid that you're like, ah, shit, she's going to beat me. Dang it, she's better than me. What do I do now? This is the emergency trick. Okay, so what I do is pretty simple. It's a simple little 3-step process. Step number 1 is I go, wait a second, what'd you say? I ask her to repeat herself. She's going to repeat herself, and I'm going to say, hold on a second. Okay, sorry, slow this down a little bit for me. Explain this more. I really want to understand here. And when you do that, the girl is going to, since she believes she's winning, explain things for you. And when she does, and she gets to the end, here comes the trick. She gets to the end, and you're thinking in your head, oh man, I don't know how to combat this. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to retort. So what you say is, man, I don't know why, I just can't hear you. Say it again one more time, and then the jig is up. She's going to know that the whole time you were doing this, you were making her explain herself 3 times. Okay? So what you've now done is you've become mentally dominant. This is a mental or even a social dominance technique if you were to do this in front of others, or even between you two, it's a social technique, right? The technique is you make her, you lie to her and ask her to explain herself and to repeat herself. And once she's done it a few times, you pull the rug out and you let her know that you've been making her explain herself 3 or 4 times for no reason. Okay, so the effect is she's going to be like, oh, screw you, or she's going to be really mad, right, or upset. And what happens is this bundle of steam that she has growing, I'm going to win. Ah, dang it, he's smarter than me, right? That's the effect. It takes all the steam out of what she's doing, and then it kind of takes the zhuzh out of her argument. It kind of takes the steam right out of there, and she ends up being like, well, here's what I meant. I'm just trying to say this, okay? Now, here's the bonus, okay? And here's the added a bit of theory that's really important here. Anytime you explain yourself to somebody else, you are in the submissive position in that argument, in that dominant struggle, okay? This is why I always say you don't have to explain yourself, and you commonly should not explain yourself. So the second kind of half of this ruse we're doing here is we are baiting the girl into explaining herself, and then when she does, we keep making her repeat and explain herself until we tell her we were messing with her the whole time, and now we've mentally dominated her. It's a fantastic technique. It sounds kitschy and tricky, but it is, and it's easy, and it works well. Okay? This is technique number 2, and we've gone over labeling at technique number 1. I would encourage you to check that video out if you haven't already. This is number 2, and we're going to continue on down the road to male dominance so we don't get divorced and lose our women.